looked at with the inception. After having been contracted, we developed an inception report which we shared with them. We also did a desk review. We also detailed evaluation tool. We developed evaluation tools. And these are some of the things that we had in the work plan. So eventually, the deliverables are also contained there. For example, the things that we have done and the things that we are yet to do. The current status, because this is where we are. Inception report has already been submitted, and the director is here with us today, can confirm that. We have done a desk review. The desk review basically included secondary data and some discussion with some of the key personnel within the ministry or within the sector. We established a proper contract within the Payms, the Payms administrators, the RRC there, and some focal leaders who are also within the area of the data collection. Then data collection started on the 16th and concluded on the 31st of October. That was yesterday. So as we are now, we are going to start data entry, data cleaning, review, and subsequently we are going to commence on the analysis and the report writing. This we expect is going to take another week. Our challenges we found and some lessons learned. One of the things we established as we were trying to set ourselves with, there were some unconfirmed reports about some insecurity in Liria that led us delay a bit with our program there. But later on, after consulting with the respective administrators, we were able to move into the Payms. There were also difficulties in obtaining permissions to go and conduct the assessment. Some of the officers we interacted with were insisting that we must have operational license, that it was really difficult to explain that an NGO does not need an operational license. But there are different legislative frameworks. There are some Payms and some counties that will still insist on operation. Maybe some of the things that will come out in the open session, maybe some responsible officers can help us on that. And then we had recommended, based on our approach to the survey that we were supposed to do, we recommended that we conduct the survey in 4 Payms, and eventually we agreed with the JCO that 3 Payms are the ones that we are supposed to do, which is still within the margin of the research approach. And then earlier we had recommended 2 urban and 2 rural Payms. This was basically to give us different perspective and different situation. And when we go to do analysis, because sometimes the status are not the same in the rural and the urban and in town as well. So we were able to achieve this, and we went straight to have 2 peri-urban and 1 rural Payms. In conclusion, we'd like to say from our own assessment that we are right on track, because we had intended to do this survey within a scope of 15 days or thereabout, which we have done so far. We also have had very effective communication between ourselves, our team, Rose included, and JCO. We have interacted very well. We have also gotten very good support, and I recognize Christopher for having stuck with us when our representative came there twice, 3 times. He was able to be accommodated very well. And as we stand now, once we get all the data, all the others we have gotten, we are waiting to get the data from Liria. Once we do this, we will embark on our analysis. That's all we can present as we stand now, and unless my colleague Rose has something else to add, I will retire and hand over the mic to them. You have something to add? Thank you very much for listening.
Because I would like to ask about the tools used for methodology to carry out this survey. But already the question and his answer is defending himself. I think he used almost the 5 tools. So that is very good. Number 2, my question is going directly to Jerry. organization. For us, it is State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare. We are ignorant about this organization. We came to learn this organization through the Secretary of the National Government, State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare. And even we from the State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social, we are not supposed to come and participate because JAMNEL CARE organization did not register with us. It's on that. When they are being pushed or pulled down to us, that's why they came to us to bring themselves about the organization. Therefore, I think you are working specifically in the context of the Central Electoral State, in which is aligned with the State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare. So we are totally ignorant about JAMNEL CARE organization. So my appeal is, whenever you're working with Central, within the jurisdiction of Central Electoral, please, it's advisable for you to know which line ministry you are supposed to work with. It's not the national. National, these are policy makers, whereby we translate these policies into action. And we are the implementers of the policies of the national government. And thank you.
Professor of Humanitarian and Conflict Studies in the University of Juba. And what we are discussing here is within our area of lectures. First of all, I start by congratulating these young women who have formed up this organization. The first thing I would like to know, maybe from the management, is I understand JAMNEL is an acronym. I don't know what is the meaning. Is it a language, which language, or what is this acronym? If you can explain that to us. This is number one. And then number two is actually going in the right direction. The steps that he has taken is the steps that are in the right direction, particularly this time space. What do we need? Really, you need a lot of guidance, and so that we are able to carry forward your vision, your mission, and your goal, and the main objectives. After saying that, I want to go back to the consultant. He has done a good job, but this is still a raw data. The project analyze it. If they feel the work just yesterday, that means the job is not yet done. And I would wish if the job is done, the analysis are made, and the report is written. Before application, I would advise you to share it with the social, gender and social welfare. We have an excellent meeting like this, so we are able to contribute to increase. Then make some suggestions here before we publish the report to your donors. Today is interesting in reading. And then to our consultant, the work has been good. I think we have done the job. But then there are some technical things that we need to use. For example, you are talking about the status of sexual and reproductive rights, reproductive health rights in the Liria, Munuki, and the Rajaf files. Before you embark on this survey, what are the indicators? You should tell us exactly what are the indicators, so that we are able. What is the main core problem? What are the indicators that you tackle? Number two is the after developing the objectives here, you should actually ask questions. What are the questions related to the objectives? What are the questions related to this status of sexual and reproductive rights? These questions will lead us to the hypothesis, because without a hypothesis, you cannot just embark on data collection. What are the hypotheses related to this? And then finally, we have to, then you to conceptual framework. When we conceptualize, we find what are the independent variables, and then what are the dependent variables. Independent variables are the factors that affect the status of girls and women. What are they? And what are the status of women and girls exactly in Liria Payam right now? Do we have a problem? Do you have what the parameters of women? Are they affected? My students went to Liria just about 3-4 months ago to conduct a survey on child abduction. They went to Liria, they went to Lokiliri, and then they went to Logonok to find the status of child abduction there. The findings were very thrilling, very bad. And immediately after the result, when we were writing our report, we got the news that children have been abducted, and our executive director here was crying foul. He was talking on radio very strongly, appealing to authorities to do something. And it just confirmed our reports. Unfortunately, when we went to Liria, when my boys went to Liria, my students went to Liria, you were not on the ground. I think they got somebody there, you might have been informed about that. So, these kind of things, I would wish also when you are particularly the area of Liria, you also inject an element of this child abduction, because it is within the framework of it is about the not confined only to reproductive, because when you talk about reproductive health, you talk about only girls and women and delivering women and so on, this kind of thing. But then we introduce other elements of SGP inside, so that your report can become complete. After saying this, I don't want to dominate everything, but we will talk as we discuss more, as we interact more. We want to get me for more information, get me in the Office of Social Development, Gender and Social Welfare. You will find me there, and I would very much wish to support you, to support you when you write reports. Let us sit down together and then see how we are developing, particularly the tabulation. Are you using tables? Are you using pie chart? Are you using roadwork? This kind of thing. We are able to help each other and build this young organization, these daughters of mine, so that it becomes very strong. Thank you very much.
It's an abbreviation of our thematic areas whereby we intend to intervene in the communities. J stands for justice, A is for and, M is mentorship.
Yes, it's slow.
Okay, fine.
Justice.
J means justice, the A stands for and, M is mentorship, N means nutrition, E is empowerment, and L is livelihoods. So justice and mentorship, nutrition, empowerment, and livelihoods. So these are areas that we intend to incorporate in our activities, and that is why we just decided to make them once as JAMNEL, then CARE, because we value and care for our communities. So we decided to come with the name JAMNEL CARE Organization. Thank you.
To put together. Let me just get straight to the research itself, because the most important thing is the research itself. It's still ongoing, and there must be procedures that you guys take to ensure that this research is a success. Looking through, the first question was based on the methodology you used to collect the data, which you answered earlier on, which is a little bit clear. And the second one, I wouldn't want to go so much into JAMNEL or the other issues, because I'm focusing on specifically this, which is the research itself. Let me get a look at some of the major challenges you really face during this data collection? Because when it comes to sexual reproductive health, it's something that is much more ignored because of the social norms and the culture that people have adopted in living. And this is what is affecting most of our population regarding sexual reproductive health. They have been impacted with so much change. They have been impacted with so much that is going on in the world that is driving them to behave in a certain way. That's why we care so much about sexual reproductive health. I am talking this because I am also one of the people who work on sexual reproductive health, majoring in schools. And I really wanted to know the challenges that you face when you're collecting this data. It's something very, very important because when we identify these challenges, we will make sure we get the most accurate data that our professor there that expected from us so that they can take the next action plans. And number two is how you overcame these challenges to ensure that you get this data wherever you are, which is, I know it's not complete yet, and of course it's not. I'm not saying only JAMNEL alone will focus on this, but it's something that you need every help to ensure that this data is accurate, because accuracy will help in ensuring the right action plans to ensure that these challenges or these problems are solved. And my third question that drops along that we expect a result of this research, which is something will be acting like a guideline to most CSOs or other government organizations or non-governmental organizations to ensure they take their action plans. I want to understand, did you only focus on qualitative analysis, qualitative research, or you went as deep as quantitative research, so as we can know the basis of how many, how much, and what exactly this issue is like in regarding these three locations that you mentioned, Liria, Munuki, and Rajaf Payms. Those are the three questions that I really want to ask, but there's still more questions for me to ask, but I would really love that as the basis of my next questions. Thanks.
This work on the issues concerning minerals. Professor and consultant Peter Dugina spoke a lot, and commenting on most of the issues that we have observed. I'm not going to repeat what he said, also tackled there. I'm just going back to the points that I have observed here also. The baseline, because you said the objectives of sexual reproductive health and right baseline survey. So what are the baselines that you have identified? And since the baseline is a starting point from where you're going to start your survey, and who are your secondary and primary key informers? Because these are very much important in carrying out your research. And regarding the policy and legislative frameworks governing sexual and reproductive health and rights. I'm seeing there you have written sexual and, but you have to delete and out. It is sexual, reproductive health and rights. The end you have to shift it from that position to between health and rights, because that's the definition of these international acronyms: sexual, reproductive health and rights. Okay. In regard to the status of the policy, currently in Central Equatoria we are developing a policy, the ministry's policy to guide all the partners that are operating in Central Equatoria, carrying on activities of sexual, gender-based violence and gender-based violence against women, and sexual and reproductive health and rights. So when this policy is out, I'm sure most of you are going to benefit from that, and I'm sure you are not going only to focus on this, you are going to also consider the issue of inclusivity, because people with disability, and not see some of them here, maybe they will also need to give their input, and this is one of our concerned in the ministry. Whenever you are doing things, you don't have to leave somebody behind. Okay? And we learned that in Liria, there are a number of people with disabilities that are not included. And so many activities. You need also to include their status. And again, the key informants that you are going to interact to collect data. The age ranges from which age to which, because you cannot just say women and girls. You see, you have to specify. Is it from the age 12 to 45, 50? It has to appear in your report. Though it is too early to comment much on the report, but we are still available and ready to come and put our inputs in. And my advice to you is the work of organization is a continuous consultation. And since you are still a young organization, please knock every door, every ministry, so that you gain momentum and strength to deliver. Because if you are not consulting, if you fall short to deliver, you find yourself you are not able to deliver accordingly and up to the expectation of the beneficiaries. There are line ministries. When you're working with gender-based violence, you have to make sure that you have to map the line ministries who are working with providing services to gender-based violence. You need to bring Minister of Health on board, you consult them. You have to involve the Minister of Interior, Prison Service, because these are all people working. If you go to the prison, you find issues of sexual reproductive health for women. Are they providing everything? You need also, because you're talking about people account, you have to know that in those programs, are those services available? It's good that you call some social workers. These are employees who are deployed in those areas to deliver services. Thank you so much.
Jaramogi University, and my first degree was in the University of Nairobi, Education. I have a team of researchers that we work with. One of them is Martin, who is also been having a lot of experience in data management, data collection. My team is also Rose, and besides this, we have other consultants that we bring on board. Just to go direct to the questions of the professor, I think indicators are very good, and the advantage we have in South Sudan is that there's a lot of data which has been collected, and we rely on this data, also some of them by international organizations, by the government. For example, the indicators that we bank ourselves on the demographic survey, which has been done. We also have other surveys which have been done by other organizations, and I want to reassure you that we have taken very technical approach to this survey, and the approaches are also very scientific, and we are not taking anything for granted. I also would like to reassure the professor that we actually developed objectives, and we have research questions which did not come up here because this was a summary that we are giving basically on the status report of what we have done. So we have research questions that led to the engagement on the ground. Some of the items that we have listed here are a summary of what we have done. Here the conceptual framework, and of course variables are part of the research. We have taken care of that. I also would like to reassure my colleague here that we have had various challenges. I started when I was towards the conclusion. I mentioned Liria, and I'm happy that Liria is coming up. It's an issue. When we recommended, now you will agree with me, when I was insisting that we must go to Liria, or one of these, we have some of the challenging areas, even in Central Equatoria, and not only in Central Equatoria, but other counties as well. So my recommendation to JAMNEL, and I'm happy they bought into my recommendation as a professional, and we agree that Liria is one of the Payms that we need to study. And unfortunately, before we even went there were issues which came. and you almost pulled out, but I insisted that as the professionals, this is where we need to be, because we need to tell a story on the ground. I'm very happy, Christopher, you welcomed my team, and our fear, as much as it was still there, and it's also very important that the professionals in the ministry are mentioning that abduction is still a very big issue there, and it's not going to stop our work. We have already collected data, some of the information we have on the ground, we will also put it. This is basically programmatic research. It's not very academic, but of course we have to be guided by the academic research. And I would like to also reassure you that we have the age group. We are talking about reproductive age, and of course that is the focus on it. But outliers are there also to give us some perspective of the whole research. Some of them you may even interview part of the team which is not female only, because the reproductive health is both gender, male and female. So you will find in our data, I don't want to preempt the data, unless Peter, you want to do that, but I don't think we would like to go into that at this stage. So we will request a bit of patience until we have all our data in place. The sample approach we used, there are various approaches to sampling methodology, and the one that we were guided within in terms of narrowing down to the sample size. I think that is the core, the sample size, because the project document had given us a number that we were working with, and we evaluated this and recommended, based on the analysis that we had done, we used loggings, but we also were putting references to other approaches that are there also. If you look at our questionnaire, we may share it at the end or even before the end, because it's both qualitative and quantitative. And to very large extent, we also going to quote verbatim the people we have on the ground. One of the challenges we have on the ground also is people not willing to freely talk about the subject matter. And we've also had challenges of not wanting to take a photo, even to the extent that our researchers, but I think that is going to dig deep into the research itself. We would like to also just to put up some comment on the baseline survey. We have the baseline survey, we have the midterm survey, that is programmatically and also in the humanitarian sector, but also even governmental. So the baseline survey does not ignore all those other surveys, but the baseline survey is very specific to the project. So if a project is supposed to be done, this base survey sometimes can be used as a need assessment, but detailed need assessment to the extent that it will inform your programmatic agenda. So JAMNEL had done some provisional thought into what they want to do, but they needed to be very sure that their concept is right, and they needed a validation research to an extent that also is very convincing to the donors. So I would like to say, to reassure all the participants that our approach is based on approved research methodologies, and we will continue to consult the University of Juba, and particularly we are advantaged now we have associate professor here. We will not be doing anything outside that scope, and we will consult you on areas of challenges. Thank you very much.
Okay. In fact, I wanted to say that your organization needs to come closer to the Ministry of Social Welfare and the Ministry of Social Welfare, so that they give you a support. In fact, you have come out to supplement government duties. And the supplementing government duties, it is with these projects that you are carrying out with it. In fact, your survey of nominating these 3 Payms is really right. why I said right. This country, South Sudan, has come out from war. People are deformed. It needs a lot of work. And also it has added with the problem of Sudan, whereby a number of refugees, not returnees, has come to their homes, and the people are currently suffering from the families. You find that the populations have been added to more than 10 times the families currently within Juba, within the town. You find that people are immigrated from the villages, they have come to the town. And the lifestyle of the town has been changed to different attitudes. Especially when you have come to Rajaf, you find that when you are listing a number of bad things, there are a lot. Number of young ladies, number of young boys had become niggers because they have resorted into too much drinking. And this drinking, really, the violence comes there. So I really wanted to say that this NGO needs to work very, very hard, at least, to make reforms. We need reforms in this country. And to make these reforms, it is not easy. To bring back these ladies to go to school, it is really a tough. So it needs us, the government, the Ministry of Gender and Social Welfare, really to come out and use the supplementary the organizations who are going to supplement the duties of the government and of the ministry, so that we can at least make some other reforms. To make reforms, it is not easy. And really we are requesting a total fees supposed to come, so that people go back to their original villages. You find that a number of ladies are coming out from their original places. They are coming where they are coming to mess within the town. If you go to Rajaf, you are really, you'll be sympathetic to these young ladies, to these young boys who are just moving in the space. So I really appreciate these NGOs, because you have come up with a good initiative which needs really, you have to work out so that the implementation comes very urgently, so that it will help us, the government. Thank you.
Address a lot of issues facing women and girls. I encourage them to continue with the research, and now I've actually said that since the research is moving well, and the input of my professor here of the University of Juba, I think, will really help you to come out with the findings that all of us are going to share. I just want to make one remark on child abduction. And in fact, the professor put it right, that you need to take the issue of child abduction seriously in this research, particularly for Liria Payam. Liria Payam so far lost not less than 300 children. Not less than. If we take proper statistic, it's more than 300 children lost. Just recently, let me talk of recent.
the recent abduction events. Last year, from one of my bombers, Nangabu bomber, 3 children were taken, abducted. Last year. This year, I think in August, 3 children abducted, making a total of 6. Just recently, 3 weeks ago, 2. All these children. And I have to tell you that the abduction in Liria, Payms started in 1989. Let us be sincere. 1989. From 1989 up to now, it is still going unabated. Nothing has been done so far by us people in the government. Whether you're working at the national government, whether it is the central government, state government, or local government, where I'm working. All these levels of government have failed to stop this phenomenon, child abduction. I conducted a research in the Center for Peace and Development study in the University of Juba in 2013. The research is with me, and I think this research can also help. I will give you a copy of that research. A copy is there in the library of the Center for Peace and Development Studies, or which they change now. I think the name is Center for Peace, Institute of Peace, Security and Development Studies. Studies, exactly. That is the name. I have that research is there. The research is, the title of the research is Child Abduction, the impact of child abduction on the behavioral attitude, resilience, and economy of the Lokoyan group of people. That is the title of the research. It is there. There is no problem. Even if you don't go there, you can come to me, contact me. I will give you a copy of this research because it is really to me. That of the research documents all the children abducted from our area, starting from 1989 up to now. I have I made some updates. Like actually the research was in 2023. That was for the Diploma in Peace and Development Studies. And I have updates for that. But unfortunately, what was the problem of all I don't have accurate record for updates because my computer was stolen in Juba last year. Was stolen from the car. But still, that the original research is there. You can still get it and you benefit from it. The problem of child abduction in Liria Payams has become so much complicated. You don't even, up to now, the question of who abduct the children is a research question that needs who abduct still remain unsettled. You point a figure here, this one will say no, we are not the one. You point to this one, they say no. But generally, according to that research of mine, I was able to point a figure at certain communities in South Sudan. Because you could remember in 2009, there was a disarmament, I think, action in Bibor. And some of our children were recovered from there. So when I was presenting the result of my report, the research in Miraya, one of the people from Bibor said, what is this person saying that we are the one abducting the children? What evidence does he have? I simply told him that the evidence I have is that some children were recovered in your area. And this is the evidence. If children were recovered in your area, then the abductor it is you. So you can't deny this. So this is our situation until today. And we are still trying to know who are I'm still pursuing that who are the perpetrators. And I talk with my community that Should we, I think, because we need to talk seriously with our national government, the office of the president, we want to enter into dialogue with these communities abducting the children so that we bring this problem to an end as soon as possible, because it is really, it will become, it's a serious concern for this country. We want unity. You cannot talk of unity of the country when you allow a section of people to go and abduct the children of other people. And yet you come and you say we want to unite the people in the country. I think this is a high time, and this is really, this issue of child abduction is to be addressed. It is good that you, the organization, the JAMNEL has come in, you pick up the issue, we together, we need to recover all our children. All the children have to be recovered, not even one to be left. We want to recover all those children abducted have to be recovered if we have to solve this problem. Otherwise, because we are working with the local government, and sometimes people working with the local government are the right people you get the right information. Because when you work at the national level, sometimes you may not know exactly what is taking place there. For us, we know what people are talking there. What people talk at the local level, they are saying the people in the state and national level, they are not serious in addressing the problems of the country, of the whole country. So now you can even see the defense of the local areas. They are left in the hands of what we call community peacekeepers, the Munuki. They are the one in charge. And yet we have people talking at the state level and the national level. So I think really this is a time you need to get this research. When it is printed, when you finalize the research, let us share it with the whole country. Okay? All the three levels of government, the national, the state, and the local level, which is the most important level of government that implement policies. At the local level, we are representative of the line ministries. Any policy from any line ministry at the national level, it is passed to the state, and then there, the implementer of all these policies is the local government. Now, I'm the Payms director of Liria. I represent the governor. I represent the president. I represent the commission. All these powers are all in one person there. So that is why, that is the most important, that is the level. When you are talking about gender violence, right? We mean the local government. Because this is where almost all the people live in local government. All the people. You live in local government, you go and work in the state, and then in the morning you go and work in the national. But all of us are in local government. Even in Juba City Council. So that, to me, this implementation of your research is to be directed there. We have to start from the local areas. The problems, gender violence, I think this gender violence is mostly happening in our local areas. The gender violence is there. There are several types. I think I talked to the team the other time. There are different types of violence there. That maybe you will get it from the Srhr questionnaire, or sometimes through discussion with you and all this. I think I have to end here because we still have a lot to talk about this research. Thank you.
I know you're getting funds from Amplify Change. Sometimes these projects are very short. They are very short, the money is never enough, the problems are bigger. But again, I want to tell you, the only money that is small is zero. Even £1 is money. And so if you have as little money as you have from your donors, from your own other mobilization strategies, there is only one solution to solve the problems in the country. Work with the local authorities. Because when your project closes, the only person that is going to remain in Liria is the director. Your project has closed. So if you're going to work with him, don't just work with him just on invitation. Go and implement the project together. From the beginning, through the middle, up to the end. Because then when you finish and you say my donor has stopped sending money, he will say thank you so much for helping me walk this journey up to this point. I can take it up from here. And then that means that as a new organization, you need to seek support from those organizations that have been there and have been working with these communities, so that you don't miss out the Ministry of Gender, as he mentioned, so that you have them from the beginning. So that's for me goes to you, and I'll pledge that as UNFPA, as the technical lead for sexual and reproductive health in the UN, as the technical lead for gender-based violence programming as, within the UN program, we pledge our technical support. At the moment, I can't talk about financial support, that's beyond my pay grade, but we pledge our technical support. Anytime, any day, we have a team of program analysts, we have a team of program specialists who are experts in all this subject matter. Others are national and others are international. And it's only a matter of proper planning and for you to reach out and seek appointments. Probably we'll clear you to come to the UN house, or if we are within town, we can come to your office and provide the technical support that you need. That we offer. Then to the consultants, I know you've already taken some steps ahead with the work, but if you don't mind, we can still walk this journey together between now and the end, so that we shape the final product. Because up to this point we've not seen the tools, which is okay. But then beyond this point, you can have a few people that you work with. Of course, you need the team. Just to look at the tools, I know you collected the data, but then we can look at the different data points and ask ourselves, what kind of analysis can we get out of this raw data? What kind of qualitative analysis can we have out of these policy documents? I don't know which policy documents you have reviewed, but on my side I have a list of policies, national strategies and laws that are with regard to gender-based violence, teenage pregnancy, sexual and reproductive health. I can forward all those to you because they are available, but you may not find them online. And that's the biggest problem in this country. Policies have been developed, but they are not there online. So the only way for you to get them is to go through people who have been in the space for some time, who have been collecting them from one workshop to another and putting them in one folder. So that's something that I can offer to give you. And then I can also look at the tools. Of course, it's at your liberty, so that we shape this, because I know all these Payms are working. As UNFPA, we have partners who work there. And so within the working framework, we will see how best JAMNEL can easily work closely with those partners that we have there, so that we strengthen the work we do together. Up to this point, I'll leave it here and mention once again, our doors are open for JAMNEL, specifically for technical support at this point, and then we'll see where it goes. Thank you.
JAMNEL. It's called JAMNEL Care Organization. JAMNEL Care Organization, I think this is one of the women-led organizations which is marching out. Please, I think you be attentive, because I'm delivering a message right from the Honorable Minister. And you, JAMNEL, as a program director, be attentive so that you get the information whereby Honorable Minister said, please go and say this and this. And he take it as a note. It's not my own saying, but I'm representing her. And by name, Ayeko Waniporum Augustine, working with State Minister of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, Director of Gender in the state level. This JAMNEL Care Organization, as I told you before, we don't know. We came to know JAMNEL Organization after a week, and they were surprised. Good enough, the team of JAMNEL, they went yesterday, and they got a chance to meet the Honorable Minister through me, through directive. And the Honorable Minister gave them some directives of what they're supposed to do, so that they can become a full partner to the ministry. JAMNEL CARE organization, I think you are implementing the localization agenda, in which your activities are targeting the 3 Payms. Liria is a Paym, Rajaf, I think is a Paym, Munuki is a Kota Council. Who's from Munuki? Munuki is a what? A Paym or Kota Council? Paym. So you are implementing the localization agenda, which the United Nations currently they are just supporting those women-led organizations directly to the local, using the localization agenda. So I'm very, very happy for this gathering today. You have done wonderful. I think this gathering of ours today, JAMNEL CARE organization, they're looking particular advice. The way I see the presentation from the consultant, good enough. You have higher calibers are here. Particularly, we have a professor as well as a consultant from the university. We have a legal advisor on the legal perspective. Therefore, feel happy that this meeting is a meeting where it is being participated by higher people of higher calibers. These are not easy people. These are not easy people. And these people that are working within the state ministry of gender, child, and social welfare. We have the legal advisor, is there, as you see. You have a professor, is a consultant within the ministry. Therefore, JAMNEL, you will be a full partner to the Ministry of Gender, Child, and Social Welfare because of these people. They will help them a lot. And even they will be even helping through writing even recommendations, either project to your donor you can win. So the 2 people, instead I recommend, you have to take their contacts and work together with them. These are not easy people, these are higher calibers. And all some of the stakeholders I recognize your presence here, in particular directors of the local government who are from Munuki, Liria, Rajaf. As they have said, they are local government. And it's good that JAMNEL CARE organization is localizing the agenda, whereby it's going deep to the community. So I'm very proud with JAMNEL CARE organization for what they're doing. It is on that we came to know them after a week. If we would have known it before, I think by this time, you would have sold yourself out because all the partners were there in our office. I have all the legal documents that are there with me as partners. They are registered. And every month we do have what is called GBB area of responsibility. That's called GBB AOR. Therefore, we welcome you. We invite you to participate and be a member. Why? GBB AOR, either GBB area of responsibility, they have the powers to give you a recommendation to back you so that you can be able to win funds from your donors. GBB, AOR, these are group of partners. They come together, particularly identify the problems of GBB. Always is conducted monthly at the Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, Central Electoral State, at our ministry. Therefore, you are most welcome. Either you say you one of your staff, either 2 staffs to participate in that meeting. I think on Friday we're going to have partnership coordination meeting for the preparation of the 16 days of the activism. So you are most welcome and participate and see what the State Minister of Gender, Child and Social Welfare is doing. The State Minister of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, what we are doing, not only JAMNEL but all the partners, you are implementing, supplementing what the government is supposed to do. but it should go in the right way. I think your team yesterday, when they went to meet the Honorable Minister explained a lot of issues so that you can be able to go in the right channel. National government, these are the policymakers. We translate the policies of the national government into action. From there, these policies, either this translation, we take where? To the communities. As the director of Liria is saying, these are the people staying together with the community. One thing is that don't do things without the government, either the state government, without knowing. Because there are some of the organizations, they are doing the same activities we are doing, therefore it will be a kind of duplication. Come to the state ministry have the right to ask the directors, either the commissioner of the county, do you have problem there? Because we have another organization wants to implement A, B, C, D. As what Honorable Minister is saying, what you are doing, she doesn't know. Maybe another organization is implementing the same activities you are doing. Therefore, it is good to partner together with the State Minister of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, so that the State Minister of Gender, Child and Social Welfare will be the one to recommend you for your operational areas, either your thematic areas. Because there are so many women-led organizations, mushroom here in Juba, and we don't know what are they doing. We don't know completely what are they doing. But now, I think, soon we are going to validate even our policy, and all these partners are going to be invited. Probably it's going to be validated on the 7th, next week. We have already a policy which is going to guide all these partners, so that you can be able to deliver services to the vulnerable community, either to the marginalized communities. Therefore, I personally appreciate what you have been doing. This meeting today, I think, is fruitful. It will help you so that you can prosper. As the inputs of all these participants, in particular these two guys, they'll help you a lot. That's why the State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare is moving forward because of them. Consultancy is not an easy work. Consultancy is not an easy work. Needs you to hire a person who has enough resources. That's why the ministry contracted these two people. One is what? One is a legal advisor, mostly dealing with the issues of GPP in the ministry. He's going to defend, particularly the survivors in the court. And as well as a consultant. He's a consultant too. These are the two consultants, as well as the legal advisors in the ministry. So the ministry now, the same ministry, is powerful and very strong because of these two guys. Therefore, I don't like to waste time. I thank all the participants, particularly the directors from the Payms, because these are the people working direct with the communities. Our role as a state minister is to send those organizations to the Payms in which area through the consultation of the directors. We cannot send organizations to operate without us consulting the commissioner, and the commissioners will consult the local government. Maybe some of the areas, either Payms, are lacking services. But there are some of the organizations, they just operate, deliver service without us knowing. We are not after your money, but we are after what service delivery. We need the service to go down to the people. That's our concern. So that we can be able to stand with you. And if the state ministry will be able to support you, to back you, to your donors. There are so many of the partners, they used to come to the ministry, they want a recommendation from the Honorable Minister. But the minister sometimes asks us, is this organization registered with us? If we say no, I cannot give you recommendation. Because we need organizations whereby they are registered, they are partnering with us, and we know what are you doing at the ground. The community belongs to the government. And their role as an organization is to pool funds and the resources to support those vulnerable people in the communities through the consultation and the approval of the state government. We actually appreciate, and I hope now you are going to be our full partner. Don't fear the city minister. Even the minister want to see the program director. so she can talk to you as a high level. I say most of the partners they used to come there. So here I'm just representing the ministry, in particular her. She supposed she cannot come because she says that this organization is not registered. It's not registered. Even we don't know what are they doing. Good enough, I have understood that the directors now that told us you're operating A, B, C, D. That's why I felt very happy. You are really doing a very good job, particularly for our youth. When I talk youth, including boys and girls, you are doing a very tremendous work, particularly for sexual health, reproductive rights. It's very, 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 very important. GBV issues is now mushrooming and alarming, particularly associated with what? Associated with these drug abuses. As the director of Rajaf has mentioned, these drug abuses, they have done fueling is a factor which contributes to GBV. Now, our government, we have to blame ourselves. Sometimes policies are being put, but implementation is not taking place. Issues of these drugs, one day, it will doom our nation if the government cannot open eyes. Drugs now, they have become so alarming and it's threatening even us. Niggers, they are coming out from these drugs. Toronto, what, it's all about because of drugs. And even we're looking for a donor, either a partner who can come out with a project of drug abuses. This drug abuses is becoming a concern to the nation. I don't like to waste your time. I appreciate JAMNEL CARE organization for the wonderful work you have done. You are still on a process. And even this baseline survey is still incomplete. It is good that today the consultant plus you, JAMNEL organization, you have had, I think it needs the consultant plus you to meet this consultant, these two people who have the neckties, you've seen them, they have neckties there. These are people of higher calibers. So I appreciate and I acknowledge your work to deliver services, particularly in these Payms, Liria, Rajaf, Munuki. These are all under central electorate stage. So I don't like to bore so much. Thank you very much for the wonderful job you have done. Please, still I echo for you to visit us so that we talk more. And even your sites, we have to visit to go and meet the directors of the Payms, even the commissioner, we have to meet them. And this project should not end only within Juba County, but it should be in South Sudan as a nation. So from here, I think I have to appreciate your work and thank you, particularly for the participants who have turned up in order to come and validate this meeting. And the validation, there are a lot of inputs being put. So these inputs, I think it will help you and your consultant to go ahead. Seek information. It's good to seek information and accept corrections. This is whereby you can build yourself. So thank you very much for those who have come for this validation meeting. And
I wanted to say really, it is a very fruitful meeting today that we held. This meeting, I've learned a lot of things in it, whereby these young ladies was come with this project writings, and they have nominated these three Payms, 2 Payms of Juba County and 1 block of City Council. It's really, they have taken a feasibility studies which they have learned that these areas needs to be supported. And these areas to be supported because we have a number of criminals in these areas. We have got niggers, which is called gangs in the area, and these gangs has come out of this civil war. out of this civil war, people came out from rural areas, leaving their original places. Then they come to the town, running out because of war. Plus the war of Sudan, which led a number of people coming from Khartoum to South Sudan. And that area became an area where people need to settle there. Because by then that area is not demarcated, an officer is demarcated but not given to the people because of the civil war. Then people found that that is an area whereby they can settle in. And getting survival becomes hard to the people because a family is taking a number of dependents, and this dependence needs what? Needs to be fed, and the feeding becomes hard because the owners of the family are unable to feed these children. That's why the children resorts coming to the road so that they can survive. And because of a number of people which there are no activities that they can do for themselves, then they resort into drugs. And these drugs now cause insecurity into the area, especially Rajaf. You find that people movement becomes hard during evening hours, during the night time. People becomes hard in moving because you find that these niggers comes out when they have taken their drugs, then they becomes enemies of themselves. The other area becomes an enemy to another area. So with this meeting here, if this JAMNEL CARE International, if really has given a mandate, if they happen to get their money so that they come, we need trainings to the ground. We need trainings. We need these young ones to be registered. We need transformation. We need really transformation. And this transformation can come where we need these NGOs to open reformatory schools. Because reformatory schools takes these children in, then they will be educated. After educated, then the number of the gangs can be reduced if really they implement the project. If they implement the project in the way that the communities likes. Yeah, we are just requesting the national government to introduce reformatory schools. We need the government to introduce reformatory schools in these counties so that all these children can be collected so that taken to these schools. Because if these children were taken in a reformatory school, then there will be reformation there. They will be educated, they go for carpentry, they go for a mechanical school, they go for so many trainings, whereby we can get a reform if a reformatory school is open in South Sudan, especially here in Juba and other counties.
I'm very happy with this program today, particular validation of the baseline report basing on the sexual reproductive health rights, in which our younger organization, JAMNEL CARE organization, which is still a young organization, by implementing the localization agenda, going direct to the communities. One, Liria Payms, Munuki Payms, Rajaf Payms, and others. Indeed, I'm very much happy. I acknowledge and I appreciate for all whatever they've been doing in order to supplement the government's effort. Yeah, true. Thank you very much. As I've been said before, that I thank this organization. I acknowledge and I appreciate for the effort they're doing in order to supplement the effort of the government to reach to the ground. The state government is supposed to do all the activities, but due to some of the challenges, were unable to reach. Therefore, not only this organization, JAMNEL CARE organization, all our partners who are aligned with our ministry, they are really doing tremendous work by supplementing government's effort to reach the marginalized people to the communities. Therefore, I appreciate it very much. Let them continue and let them come to us to the office. The office at the ministry is open all the time. These are partners who are not collaborating with the State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Affairs. I still appeal to them to come so that we collaborate together with them. We work together with them as a sisterly. Therefore, whatever they're doing, they should come to us. Because our role as the State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Affairs is to implement the policies of the national government. Again, I have to appeal to them. They should come to the State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Affairs to know where are they going to operate. Because we will have to minimize the application of effort. Some of the partners, they used to go direct to the communities without us knowing. Therefore, it is not good, and it creates conflict sometimes among the communities as well among between the partners. So my concern is all partners who want to work within the jurisdiction of Central Equatoria should first of all come and seek advice whereby they can operate so that they can go to the communities. We really appreciate for the effort in which these partners are supporting the government, but we need a legal procedure so that we can be able to monitor and follow. Our role here is to supervise what these partners are doing to the community. The community belongs to the people, and their role of the partner is to pull resources from their donors. So our role is only to supervise. Are these resources going to the direct people, to the direct beneficiaries, or not? So generally, and in a conclusion, I'm appealing to all the partners who are aligning with the State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Affairs, please, to come and we collaborate and we work together. Finally, the State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Affairs is on the process of preparation for the 16 days of activists, in which I call all those partners who are working with our State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Affairs to come on Friday, because it's going to be our final presentation of the project concept. And again, we have a partnership coordination meeting, particularly for GBV AOR. That is an umbrella for all the sub-clusters. Any partner who comes and joins GBV AOR is most welcome. So our door of the ministry, of the State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Affairs, is open to every partner. And thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. We have currently invited participants for a meeting, and the meeting was on the presenting validation of a baseline report that has been done on the status of sexual and reproductive health rights of women and girls in Juba. This activity is funded by Amplify Change, and we hired a consultant who has done a baseline survey, but unfortunately he's still working on the reports. So once the final reports are out, we shall also give it. So the main basis of this meeting was just to consult and get views and inputs to the survey, so that our report can be all inclusive. Actually, the survey is mainly on the status of sexual and reproductive health rights of girls and women. But these other issues, we hope to incorporate them in our activities. When the report is out, it will help international organizations, the government, and other civil societies organizations to be able to come in and support these communities in areas where they can. Because our current project is just limiting us to the report and supporting some women in the 3 Payms. So if the report is established and it is kept in the books, it can be used as an assessment tool by the government to get some data on the status of sexual reproductive health in the 3 Payms.
This project is for how many months?
The project is for 2 years.
2 years?
Yes.
Is
so
it also going to be on the base under Juba County, or it is going to be taken across?
It is majorly going to be in Juba County, because after the survey and getting the report, we will be able to know how to address and how to implement our activities. So we are currently working in the 3 Payms for the 2 years. The amount that is given is around 100,000 USD, and this money, we have a budget line. After the survey is conducted, we are going to implement the different components of the budget. So when we run out of the funds, or after the project is done, we intend to work with the community leaders, the directors, and all that, and the government, so that when the project is ending, they can know how to proceed ahead even without the lack of fundings. But we also intend to source for more funding so that we can able to expand our activities to other locations even across South Sudan. Yeah, I think it can be extended depending on the gaps that we are going to identify and the areas that we are going to intervene. My message to the community is that they should be positive, and I'm really thankful for the leaders to welcome us in their locations. I'm really grateful for that, and I would love to advise the communities that South Sudan is still young, and we intend to work together so that we can advocate against gender-based violence, promote equality, and also peaceful coexistence among us.
ففي مونوكي عنده تحديات كتير الناجي لجو، لانه تحديات الناجي لجو لانه ما في مساعدات من محل تاني. نمرة 2 أسا في حلة يالتا أنه كله تالا في الشوارع، ويالا مساعدات زي زمان كان في السبعينات كان في حاجات زي في فتاوى إصلاحية عشان بيقدر يشيلوا إيال دي برويناك، بيشتغل بينا، بيشتغل نجار، بيشتغل مدرسة كله هناك. بعد ذاك يال دي بتالا كويسين، لكن حاسة جوا ما في زول قدام عنا، أي منظمة ما في القدام عنا. وأنا بشكر ربنا في يوم بتاع ليلة من أجل المنظمة الجديد الندانا كرينا جا يعني شارك مومن the first meeting في يوم بتاع ليلة. أنا جي سابوتو من كلمون يستمروا قدام مشاكلات دي عشان بيجيبوا لنا سما كويس، والبيسيبوا إيال تانا بريجا في بيت، وناس تانين إيال بنات ولدوا بيجا ماجو مدارس يندل ده عشان بقدر رجعوا درسومن مم بريجا في مدارس. رسالة هاي حاجة الفي أنا بعملوا أجري awareness، يعني أنا بعمل awareness لناس بإنه كده أنا ونس مع إيال تانا، وكده كمان أنا ونس مع community تانا في كل اتجاهات تانا تجنوب السودان، برا من جوبا لحد برا، يلا من مونيكي لحد ارياس تانيين على ذاك المدينة جوبا، عشان أنا بقدر ونس مومن كده إيال يكون مستقبل تبكرة، لأنه حصل إيال تانا بيجا كربو بنات أولاد كل مدارس، أولاد كل في الشارع في تورونتو في نيجاس، يعني حقيقة كلامنا مع أنا ما عنده، لكن بعمل awareness عشان كده إيال تانا للرجال عشان بيكون مستقبل تبكرة، رؤساء بتبكرة، مدراء بتبكرة.